Hello everyone. So in this lecture we'll be starting off with the beat down, okay? And this lecture I'll be dividing into two to three parts, okay? So this lecture is basically for the knife throw, okay? And the knife throw animation and the projectile itself, okay? So basically it's similar to how Batman does, like you press the middle mouse, then you do the cape stun and then you go into beat down. So we'll be doing something similar, okay? So let's get started. So first let's get the animations in, okay? So the patrons will have access to the animations, okay? Animation link, okay? So all you will have to do is just drag and drop it. So the animation patrons and the obviously the ultimate patrons, the free flow ultimate will have access to these, okay? So just make sure that you choose the UE4 mannequin, okay, and import, and then you will see that there's the back throw, okay, and then there's the front throw, okay, as you can see, okay. We'll start working on the front first, okay. So once these are in the front throw, I'll actually make this to a montage, okay. Aim underscore knife throw, okay. And obviously for the back one as well, I'll just have it created. Uh, Knife throw back. I'll save all of it, okay. Now, yeah, we need to actually go back to the FFC, go to inputs, actions, just duplicate the attack one, okay, and I'll call this throw. And yeah, you don't need to do anything over here. Just go back outside to the IMC default. We'll add a new mapping, and this one will be the throw. And obviously, I'll have this in middle mouse as well. I don't think I have anything else on the middle mouse right now, right? Yeah, I don't. So let's go ahead. Let's open up the BP player, and over here, I'll add a new input mapping throw. Okay, there we go. So once it has started, we need to make sure that we are in the idle state, right? So in the FFC, we will get, what was it called? Sorry, I forgot what it was called. Get tag, okay. And basically it will be the same, either the combat state or the idle state. I can throw it, okay. From here, we want to play the montage, right? And with the mesh, and obviously right now, just like I said, I'll just do the forward throw now. Let's see if it works, right? So as you can see, but yeah, obviously I can walk. So in the asset itself, in the asset, make sure it's root motion, okay. Now I'll play this again, and as you can see, I can no longer walk. Actually, I don't think you need the back montage to begin with. Just it should face towards whoever he wants to throw towards, right? So what I'll do is we'll need to actually make a logic to turn towards the enemy first, right? Now this will be a small turn. So let's go to the animation itself. As you can see, till this part he can turn really any way he wants. So what I'll do is this one can be um, a blueprint one, okay? So I'll just go to the anim notify state because I want to use the stick, okay? Rotate throw for rotation during the throw. Okay, so I'll override the tick. Over here, what I'll do is from the mesh component, I'll get the get component by we need to get the owner first, right? And from the owner, I can get the component by class, and this component is going to be our FFC. Now, obviously, we need to make sure that these are valid, right? So his valid checks are important. So there will be two is valid checks. We will get the current enemy, okay? And we want to get the actor location, right? So get actor location, make sure it's clean. So get actor location, and from here we need the find look at rotation. And we need to rotate the owner character, right? So we'll just have it a bit below so I can drag it. I'll add a reroute note over here, and from here I want to set actor rotation. And obviously this will be where the enemy is, okay? So again, we need to add it over there, but obviously before that we require the same logic that we're using over here, right? This one for the attack. And now in the montage itself, I can add the notify. So he's supposed to rotate till here, okay? So if I just come here, right, what did I do? Right, so it the target would be the enemy and the start location is the player, right? So if I come here, yeah, as you can see, I rotate properly. So even if I am to go over here and then I rotate behind, as you can see, yeah, the character faces in the proper place, right? To wherever he has to throw. Okay, so that's working. Now obviously we need to set tag as well, right? And right, I will just set the tag over here. I don't think I need to do anything else. And this one over here will have to, we'll add a sub tag over here. Okay, and this one will be throw. And once he comes to the end, we'll be using the same thing over here. Is it uncompleted or blend out? Uncompleted. Okay, so and obviously we want to reset our reset state as well once we throw it, right? So just before the throw montage is just before this one where we set the throw state, right? We want to clear and validate the timer and then have it throw. Okay, so this is fine so far. Now the next part of this would be to actually throw something, right? So for now, I don't actually have a mesh made, but I'll have it made real soon. Okay, in the meantime we will be using a placeholder. Okay, so in the blueprints, there's no actor. Okay, so we'll have actor inside blueprints and we'll call this pp underscore knives. Okay, now let's add a static mesh. Okay, now obviously like I said, you can use anything that you think is good at the moment. Okay, like I'll use something like an arrow. I'll make this like really small, like 0.1, 0.1, 0.1, and let's see what the size is of this arrow. That's really small. So how about 0.5? Yeah, seems good, right? So what I'll do is in the knives over here, I want to add a projectile movement, right? So what the projectile movement does is basically it does what it says. It adds a movement component, but the movement component behaves like a projectile. Okay, so basically it can go straight, right? It can go also in a parabolic graph like this, right? That will depend on the gravity you set on this one. So right now it is set to 1, so obviously it behaves like a parabolic graph, but I want it to be 0 for now. Okay, so whenever I throw it, it just goes towards the whichever enemy it is supposed to go towards, right? So now there's a few things like the initial speed 5,000, max speed I'll make it to 15,000. Okay, rotation follows velocity, projectile scale is 0, so There's one thing that I want to add over here is actually I don't need to add anything, I guess. So what I'll do is this is fine. So I'll just go to the blueprints, anim notify, and this time I'll create a notify, not a notify state. Okay, and this one will be spawn knife. Yeah, so over here receive notify. So I want to get the owner. Okay, I need to make a is valid check. Okay, and once this is done, I want to spawn actor from class. Okay, the owner obviously will be the owner. Okay, and try to adjust location, but always spawn. To be honest, like will not have any uh hits on the knives. Okay, so this one will be VP knives. Spawn transform, so we need to get actor. Sorry, we already have the mesh, so we'll get socket location. We will make no, sorry about that. We'll make transform. We'll add in the location over there. The rotation and scale would stay. Now we know that for now the knives we are hard coding this value to 0.5, 0.5, 0.5. So we'll do the same thing over here. Actually, let's keep it 1 for now. Okay, and this socket will promote this to a variable, and this will be our throw socket that we have access. Okay, so this will just make it instance editable. Okay, okay, looks good. So we'll go to the animation. Okay, the knife throw over here, I guess. Over here, I think I should call the node spawn knife. Okay, and this one we can obviously see or check the bone that we want, right? So I want to actually use the weapon R, okay, to spawn. So I'll get the weapon R and I'll have that as a spawn location, right? So now I can see he's throwing towards that enemy. Actually, like obviously we have not set the rotation, so it only throws forward, as you can see, like that, right? So it doesn't matter where we're looking at the moment. So at least it throws, that we know. So the next part is to understand how we want to throw this. Okay, so one of the ways that we can do is over here. If you come to the projectiles, we can actually make it a homing projectile. Okay, that will home towards the actor that we set. So we can set the homing target component. Okay, So now what we can do is for this one we can get owner. Okay, now this is an actor. We'll add a small delay because I know for a fact that sometimes the get owner does not actually call the proper owner until and unless there's a 2-second delay or something like that. Actually, let's do a better practice than this. Okay, we'll set timer by event, create event, and create a matching event, and we'll call this spawn set homing target, and obviously we'll add the 0.2 second, and we don't want it to loop. Okay, now from here we can get the component by class, and this one will be our FFCC. And like I said, we need to do is valid checks always. There we go. And from here we'll get the current enemy, and we'll get the root component, and basically that will be our homing component. Okay, so there we go. And now let's check. It's still not working actually. Okay. So let's see what the issue is. Homing that movement, the tuition, that is fine. Okay, so I see the issue. The thing is we don't need the speed. Okay, so we can keep these at 0. Okay, what we need is the homing acceleration magnitude for the speed itself. Okay, so I can make it 15,000. Okay, and let's test it out. Sorry about that. Right, so it goes where it needs to, but yeah, one of the issue is it's doing it after 0.2 second, right? So after, there we go, but it's still not actually really good itself. So let's see without the, if it works, right? Yeah, I mean without it, it looks better. Also, as you can see, it just goes to and fro like that. So we really don't want that actually. So what we'll do is on the static mesh itself, right? We'll make this custom. Okay, so it should overlap almost everything, right? And we generate overlap events. Okay, so when it begins overlap, it doesn't matter what it overlaps with. I want it to do a spawn system at location. Okay, now obviously, like right now, let's just say we add that radial burst, and we'll get the actor, sorry, transform, and I'll spawn it exactly how it's supposed to be. Okay, and then we will destroy the actor itself. Okay, so let's see. I mean, as you can see, it destroys the actor, but the shader, see. So uh show collision. Right, it collides with the owner, right? So we need to make sure that the overlapped actor, right, is not equal to owner. Okay, only then play that, right? So there we go. So something's wrong with far off targets for some reason. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll add a sphere collision. Okay, so it's a bit better at detecting targets, right? So something like this. And instead of the static uh, mesh, we'll actually do the begin overlap from the sphere itself. Okay, so I'll just delete that one above, right? Other actor, and I don't want to overlap at all, so there will be no collisions on this static mesh. Again, I'll just have it outside of the static mesh because obviously I don't want it to follow suit. Follow suit as in it shouldn't actually like follow the collision of the. So there's something wrong with how it's colliding itself, I would say. As you can see, it goes through the character sometimes. Now, why does it behave like that? Okay, static mesh, I'll just make it as the parent. Then I actually need to make it overlap all. Okay, even if I do that, sorry, not generate. Yeah, sorry, do not generate overlap events for the parent, but only for the child. But still seems to be the same issue, right? And that is really weird. So, okay, I think the homing will not work. Okay, so yeah. So what we can do on this is have a variable over here that will be the enemy. Okay, now obviously this will be an actor class. You can directly have access to the sorry, the enemy itself, right? The enemy class, base enemy class as well, but I don't need to. Okay, I'll make it instance editable and expose on spawn. So where is okay, this one. So I can refresh this node and you can see there's the enemy. So am I doing the notify here? I'm not, but there's no reason that I cannot do it over here, right? So I will get the component by class, make sure I have a is valid check. I'll get the right. I need to do the FFCC. Get current enemy, and that will be the enemy that we want to move towards, right? And in the BP knives, since we have access to this enemy, we want to uncheck the, sorry, not this one, homing projectile, because it is no longer homing, right? And what I want to do is actually I can just spawn it over here with that transform itself, right? I mean, there's no point of dragging it to somewhere else. Let's see. So from the current enemy, I can, sorry, get actor location, find locate, rotation, that will be our target. This is our starting, so there we go. Okay, and over here we no longer require this enemy. Okay, so we'll don't need it over here either. So onto the projectile movement, back to 5,000 and 15,000, and moment of truth. As you can see, there we go. There we go. Works properly. No. So there are times where it does not actually spawn properly. So another thing I can do is lower the move speed of it. So yeah, that way I think the movement is causing some issue with how it reacts for some reason. Also, it would be better if it goes to a specific space, right, way towards the enemy. So where I have this as spawn, so what I can do is, let's say I can get component by class, and this one will be skeletal mesh component, and I can do the same thing, right? Target, and I can say it is spine underscore 01. Let's make it go to spine 01, spine 03. Yeah, it goes towards the body, right? Now I think that could have been one of the issues where it's actually hitting the player. I think that was the issue, you know. I mean, I'll test it outside as well. Okay, there we go. The speed is definitely one of the issue, I think. Okay, that if you have big speed, the collision messes with the yeah. There we go. So yeah. Also, yeah, during the throw process you cannot actually like counter. So also during the knife throw we probably need to add uh combat state window, right? So it starts from there and it just finishes after the knife has been thrown, right? So if you remember, I don't actually. So let's check that. So at the end, it goes to combat state. So yeah, now actually like even if an enemy is trying to counter, I can directly go into counter after the throw, right? I do not actually have to wait for the idle state. There we go. So this is good for now, okay? So in the next lecture, we will actually, there's also one issue I saw earlier was the characters going on top of each other. Yeah, there we go. See? For a second over there, the character actually just jumped back, right? So that's an issue I have to fix as well, okay? So before I launch the second part of this beat down, okay, I think I will just go ahead and add a bug fix video, okay, over there to actually fix whatever issue is popping up, okay. And as always, if you want to support me and the work that I do, you can visit my Patreon. Currently we have three different tiers for the free flow combat system. The beginner one where you get access to the extra videos that I post, okay. Then there's the free flow animations where I just post the animations that I work on, okay. Animations and assets as well, okay, that's included in that. And for the ultimate is where I actually like post both the videos and the animations itself, okay. So yeah, do check it out once guys, and thank you so much.